And you had the opportunity to vote in a local election, but you only chose to do the president. I appreciate Sister Reed for taking this opportunity to do that. She prepared this. She did it for the district missionaries, and she wanted to make sure we did this for our own church. Reed.
Thank you, Reverend Hunt, for this wonderful opportunity. Amen. You have the head of this congregation this morning. Now, after service, Nala's stand up. Nala's going to have this clipboard. Now, if you've not received this handout via email already, please print your name, your telephone number, and your email address. And I can send this to you electronically. Thank you, Nala. Because I'm going to tell you what you can do with it and how many people you can touch electronically with the document. Now, I'm not going to ask for a show of hands as to how many of you are registered to vote, but I'm going to assume that everyone here that is of voting age are already registered, okay? Now, we're going to pretend, since we are all registered, all right, we cannot assume that when we go to wherever we're going to vote, that our name is going to be on the computer when they call up your name. You cannot assume that this year, please. So the first thing, number one, are you a registered voter in your county? Now, we may have someone else here outside of Mecklenburg County, but wherever you believe that you're registered to vote, we want you to check it. If you don't have access to a computer where you can check it, my number is 704-231-3614. And all of you who have young people, grandchildren that know technology well, you have the site where you can ask them to go on that site to see if you are registered. Now, since we are all registered and you're in training, there are some of your family members, some of your co-workers, some of your neighbors that are not registered. And you're in training, so number 2 tells you where you can go register. Now, you can register at DMV, you can register by mail, or you can go to an early voting site. Now, what is this? Sample ballot. Now, I have a meeting at Board of Elections this week. I'm going to find out when these will be ready. And as soon as they're ready, Moore Sanctuary will have some of these. Amen. You will have some of these. This is an important document, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it. But if you want to take someone to get registered, this will tell you all of the sites where you can go vote for early voting, and you can register at the same time. So we're going to equip you with everything you need to have to get people registered to vote. Now, as of last year, there are 3 requirements for voter registration. You have to have a photo ID, you have to have proof of your current address, and the voter registration application. Also, if you determine that someone needs to register, we're going to have some blank voter registration forms here at Moore. That will save you some time and the person some time because you've already got it filled out. Bring your photo ID with you. Now, if you do not have a current ID and you just want an ID for voter registration purposes only, or to vote, there is a number. That's number 4. There's a telephone number and there's an address for you. The voting dates. The last day to register to vote on election day, that's November the 5th. That date is October the 11th. So you're hearing all throughout on television, radio, vote early voting. Because if you don't vote early voting, you're already registered, and you decide, well, I'm going to go on November the 5th. Something could happen. So if you vote early voting, that's already behind you, and you can do something else, okay? The ballots, there was a change with ballots, and as I understand from Board of Elections, they start to mail them out on Friday. So if you know of people that's accustomed to getting their information via mail, they should be coming soon. The absentee ballot return deadline is Tuesday, November the 5th at 7:30. Now, early voting starts Thursday, October the 17th. Please mark your calendars. And you have from October the 17th to November the 2nd to vote early voting. And again, you must, if you decide November the 5th is the day I'm going to vote, you have to know where your precinct is. You have to know where your precinct is. Now, this number 7, I call Know Before You Go. It's amazing the number of people that come and they only know about what Reverend Hunter said. They only know about who they want to vote for president. But the reason why we are in some of these situations now is because many of us forgot to vote down ballot. Vote for everybody that's going to come up on your ballot. Amen. Vote for everybody. But just don't go in there and ask one of the assistants, well, can you help me with this? Who is this person? They can't tell you anything. Only thing they can do is put you on the machine. Are you with me? All right. Now, another reason why this is so important, if you've done your homework and you know who you want to vote, mark that person on your ballot. And guess what? You can take this in there with you. Make it easy for you. If you want to put it on your phone, you can copy it. You can just go down, scroll through your phone, and mark the candidate. I see a lot of heads nodding, and that makes me feel great. All right. Now, there are it's a 4-step process. I'm going to tell you what we do at South Park Library. You're going to come in, you're going to be greeted, and you may be reminded that you're going to need a photo ID to vote. Once you check in with the computer operator, she'll ask you for your name, your address, and she'll ask you several questions. Then, once you get by the computer operator, she's going to give you a white piece of paper. That's the one-stop voting application. You'll have to sign that. She'll notarize that. And I know you all know because you voted before, but for your training of other people, I'm telling you these little details. Then she's going to give you a white piece of paper, and that is your ballot. Once you are put on the machine, pay attention to what this assistant is doing. Pay attention and listen, because if you don't follow all those steps, and you hit the print button and your ballot come up blank, something you didn't do right. You didn't do it right. So pay attention. Feed it in and count it. Don't just feed it in and walk away. Make sure that you see the clock go around and it says vote. That's when you finish, okay? Now, what can we do? Everybody in here can do something. You've heard that before. Do something. Young people, you want to ask your parents, mom, dad, grandparents, uncle, aunts, did you vote? Okay? Now, determine who in your family may need some assistance, in the church who may need some assistance. Drive people to the voting sites. If you know that there's somebody who's retired and willing to do this, let's chip in and give them a couple of dollars and fill up the tank. Let's do that. Now, we need more people to volunteer. Now, volunteer for Board of Elections means you get paid. And the dollars range from $15 to $22. And I've indicated on number 8, all of the positions. Training is now in progress. I do some of my training next week. So just know that they're not just going to put you out there. They're going to train you. Call your friends and family. Determine where the early voting sites are, and as I indicated, they're right here. And if you don't know anybody in those sites and you want to go where somebody is that you know, come to the South Park Library. You can pull your car up. Johnny May Waldo can tell you if you want curbside voting, I'll send someone out there and they can help you with curbside voting. But you got to have your ID. If you want to vote at South Park, we're happy to have you. Now, number is H, alphabet H. If you're close to a site and you know it's an early voting site or an election site, take some pre-wrap items to those poll workers. They would really appreciate it. Water, sodas, candy. We eat candy all day to give us some energy. Now, vote early in the mornings and mid-afternoon. We will be open from 2 weekends straight, Saturdays and Sundays. The last day is November the 2nd, which is a Saturday. Again, I give you the number to call Board of Elections if you have any questions. And the hours on election day is 6:30 to 7:30. So, in closing, most of you have heard these statements in the past week. Voting is the best of America. We are so blessed to be able to do this. And you heard a famous lady say, do something. So brothers and sisters, what are we going to do? We're going to do something. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sister Reed. Just before you go, if there's just a question about provisional ballots.
We've had people to come in for one reason.